So this weekend, you may have been lucky enough to catch me suffering by losing all my sleep and completely destroying my sleep schedule watching a German Tengu plant tournament. Now, this is one of the first in-person tournaments that I've been able to cover on this channel. There are some that are going on in the US, and hopefully I'll get to go experience some of those sometime soon. But this was one that was going on in Germany, and what makes this one kind of special is a lot of the players that we have that are pretty experienced in modern Tengu that you see in the Discord, they were playing in this event. And so it was really kind of cool to get to watch them, you know, kind of see some faces. Actually, you know, I haven't actually like seen a lot of these guys outside of just their Discord profile picture, and watch them play out, you know, a tournament, which they had about 20 people show up, which honestly, not bad for their first one. I think that's a pretty good turnout. So wanted to do a quick breakdown talking about what the meta was there, as well as, you know, go over the top 4 decks, kind of talk about it. So we'll just hop right into it. So first off, we got this beautiful meta game breakdown done by Photoshooty, and he did it last minute for me, so thank you, Photoshooty. We'll zoom in here. So we have a quick breakdown. We had 3 Chaos, which honestly is kind of surprising. Chaos kind of fell off for a while, but seeing 3 is pretty impressive. 3 Hero Beat, 2 Beat, 1 Tour Guide Hero. Then we had 2 Burn, which is actually really bizarre. 2 Burn, 1 Chain, and then 1 Exchange. I don't know what that means. 2 Machina Gadgets, 1 TG Stun, 1 Gravekeeper, 1 Scrap, 1 Falcon Punch, 1 Agent, 1 Worm, 1 Zombie, 1 Nordic, and 1 Tengu Plant. So pretty interesting spread. It's really interesting that Agents and Tengu Plants actually saw less representation in person. One thing I found with a lot of tournaments is if they are starting their own in-person tournaments, everyone's on plants. But like I said, a lot of these players are pretty experienced. They played in the Discord, so they're not really on that Tengu Plant hype. They know there's a lot of really crazy good decks out there outside of plants, so that's probably why you're seeing a bit less representation. The most disappointing thing is apparently Europeans aren't, you know, TCG Rewind pilled. They're not, they don't got the big brains like me, you know. No one was running Car Curry, X Sabers, or Psychics. Pretty big bummer to me, you know. I was hoping to watch some of that, but you know, it is what it is. I will say, based on the decks that top this tournament, X Sabers probably would have cleaned house in this event, given how much back row there was throughout the whole tournament. Like, tons and tons of back row decks were being played in this tournament. So yeah, let's go into top 4. So this is 3rd, 4th place. I don't really know who got 3rd or 4th. I think it's just, you know, they're both 3rd, 4th. So we have Woo Lord with Gadgets. It's Machina Gadgets, and this is like one of the most interesting builds I think I've ever seen, because this is a combination of running triple of every gadget, so you can run Ultimate Offering, but also opting to run the Machina package with that, which I find really unique. Not going for the Machina Force, but instead going for Machina Soldier. Now, Machina Soldier just says, well, this is normal summon and you control no other monsters. You can special summon one Machina monster from your hand. This is really interesting because it has a couple different applications. The first one is, instead of like pitching a machine and a fortress, you can just normal summon this and then special the fortress from your hand for free. You can even special summon Gear Frame to make a rank 4 play. And then one other thing I thought that was kind of interesting or cool is, if you're running Ultimate Offering and you're in your opponent's battle phase, you can normal summon this and then special summon the fortress as a way to like block an attack, or even like pop something during your opponent's turn if they have big monsters. Could like interrupt a lot, which I think is pretty unique. Also on Tragodia, which I think Tragodia is a really good card for gadgets, so that's smart. But some other spicy techs we're seeing in here is, we have Mirror Wall and Skull Lair, and I found this to be extremely fascinating because he actually resolved Skull Lair on stream. Mostly, Woo Lord said that he just likes the card in general, but also what he likes about these 2 cards is their like long-term protection. So most cards that you see, like a D-Prison or something like that, is a once per turn protection, but against the likes of like a Tengu or something, having Mirror Wall to just like half all your opponent's attacking monsters, like, that's really strong. It basically prevents Tengu from like getting, you know, you don't D-Prison and they get another one, right? So this is like multi-turn protection you can use to keep your gadgets alive. And one thing that makes gadgets really strong is when they can start exceeding, because once you can get into the Utopias can block attacks to set up Utopia Roach, and these 2 on the field is actually a really strong combo. This is in general just a really cool deck list. I also saw him on Gigantes in the side, which I thought was really unique, because, you know, you could use it as just like a generic extender. You also can use it to deal with back row decks. So really creative list for Machina Gadgets. And in all honesty, like, This is probably one of the early or like first versions of like Machina gadgets I think I've seen top in like modern Tengu plant format. I always knew that they were relatively strong and could work, but they're honestly a tough egg to crack. So yeah, this is just a really cool list. I'm excited to see the fact that, you know, people are still innovating in this format. We're seeing completely new things popping up in every top 4. It's just super cool. So yeah, really like this list. Really excited to see if there's any further optimization for gadgets, because I mean, ultimate offering gadgets are pretty insane. One thing I'm curious about is why he didn't opt to include a single glow up bulb. I think it's definitely worth it. That can get you Librarian and Trishula with ultimate offering on board. I mean, honestly, it just gets you access to level 5 synchros. I think it's worthwhile, but maybe you just didn't want to go the synchro route. I don't know, but pretty cool. Woo Lord, if you end up watching this, you know, maybe fill in why you don't want no bulb, or maybe you just didn't think about it. So, but yeah, moving on to third place, we have Himne back at it again with his Gravekeepers. And honestly, I just think this list is so clean. The Wonder Wand Gravekeepers, I think this is just very optimized deck building. This is going to get you to your Royal Tribute very quickly. Like, there's so many speed power cards that are going to get you there. I like the single Malefic Stardust Dragon in the deck. I think this is really, really powerful. Just a 2500 beater that's honestly kind of annoying to remove, especially because it's a dark. It's weirdly difficult for plants to deal with because they can't like Catastor over it, so they need like Caius or BLS, which if you're running like warnings and stuff like that, you know, prisons, can be kind of tricky for them to deal with this. So yeah, really, really like this list here. I think it's super powerful. Nothing we haven't seen before from Himne. Like, this is his pretty much go-to list for a lot of tournaments these days, as he just likes playing this. There's turbo Gravekeepers, and I can't say I blame him. This list is really cool. So yeah, but that was third place. I mean, like I said, there's not really much to say about it. This is something you guys have seen in a lot of my other top decks. Like, Himne is topped pretty well consistently with this. I will say this is likely probably one of the better ways to build Gravekeepers, if not the best way. I think this is super, super optimized and very, very clean. So congrats to Himne. It was cool to see him on stream. We'll move on to second place. We have Photo Shooty on Scraps. Once again, on another very optimized deck. Like, this is looking like your standard Scrap deck. Nothing like too crazy or innovative in it. Just the standard cards, you know, 3 Tengu, 3 Scrap Beast, 2 Chimera, and 3 Thunder King. Pretty much all the ratios you've typically seen from Photo Shooty, but he was very, very close to clinching out and winning the finals and, you know, getting his Tengu Mania first place mat, which would have been really cool. But either way, I do definitely like this deck. I like the list. Photo Shooty played really well. We caught him on stream a couple times, so that's pretty cool to watch, except for that one Max C play on the tour guide. I'm still upset about it, but other than that, yeah, it's not much more to say about this one. It's just pretty standard Scraps, but hey, really cool to see Scraps get more representation in top cuts. This deck is honestly really, really powerful and really, really scary, and I do like it. I think it's like a pretty smart call in-person tournaments, just because of the fact that if people aren't as experienced in Tengu plant format, they're going to Warning the Scrap Dragon, and then you can get Scrap Beast back, and you can kind of blow people out with just that play alone. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, and then finally we'll move on to first place. We had the young Shinu Slaw in his Pelican shirt, or no, it was like Toucan shirt. The Toucan shirt. We had Shinu Slaw coming in playing standard TG stun. This is very similar, if not the same list he ran to win the last Tengu Mania. So this man's still just running on that gauntlet run, just kind of dominating, which is really cool to see. I mean, this list is pretty standard TG. I'm impressed that he was on 2 TG1 EM1. I honestly feel like this card bricks for me whenever I run this deck, but yeah, watching him play it just, this deck can do him no wrong almost, I swear. It looks so clean and good for him. He's on his standard Breaker, the Magical Warrior in the side deck, which is, you know, the Shinu Slaw special. And then, yeah, just pretty much same list as Tengu Mania. But it was exciting to see him get to pilot it in person. He needs foil cards. He was trying to cope and say, you don't need foil cards. You need foil cards, bro. Come on. You know, you can foil these out. It's not that expensive. You know, you got to do it. You know, at least get a shiny Breaker if you're going to flash it on screen the whole time. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole tournament, guys. There was a lot of different decks I saw on stream. We saw Chainburn. We saw Necro on his zombies. It was really cool to see all those people playing, and I'm hoping to see more like in-person events in general and just in-person coverage. It wasn't super fun to stay up all night, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to support the greatest format in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Look at this top 4, guys. It's crazy. Just a different deck no matter what. I swear this happens in just about every tournament that I see play out, is just vastly different decks in every single tournament. So really, really cool to see. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video, you guys. We can give a quick shout out to the Patreon. So shout out to Slap God, my dude, Photo Shooty, Brian Ford, and Sven Olbrehen. Thank you guys so much for the support. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this tournament, what you guys thought about the coverage and stuff if you were able to catch the stream, and even what you think about this gadget thing. You know, you think gadgets are strong, or do you think it was fake? Because we actually saw 2 people playing gadgets, which is really cool. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure you guys have a great time dueling today.